Where do I interact with that? Here. The avid horizon. Two vast winged statues guard the avid horizon, the door through which Londoners pass from beneath into the wilderness. It does not open. A wooden mooring post has been hammered into the ice before the watchers. It is a gesture towards a tradition from before the wilderness, from a sunless sea when the condemned could beg for forgiveness on the most distant shore. Explore the horizon's threshold. What might you find on this bleak waste? This was only ever a place to pass through, never a destination. Bitter cold rimes every surface. A merciless wind passes without effort. Though even your sky suits your flesh. Through even your sky suits your flesh, your lungs. You will not stay here long. Two vast winged statues. We've read that. A sign has been hammered onto the pillar. If you've done something that can't be forgiven, if there is no place left to run, if you would seek refuge with the gentleman, record your name and crime. It is barely legible under a thick coat of frost. Check the pillar for confessions. What lies beneath its frozen coat? You pick scraps of paper from the post, a fragmentary catalogue of sin. Each describes a crime, a betrayal, but nothing new to you. The London press has already chewed through these events with relish. The brutalities make for grim reading all the same, but one remorse-filled confession of murder swears it will never hurt a person again. Perhaps that is in some way comfort. That's all I can do here. Okay. So I guess those are not the stairs to whatever we needed to find. Come back. What? Yeah. Shoot. I overheated and damaged my own engine. Come on. Oh. That was just a wheel here. Loot the hold or examine the captain's logs. Let's just loot the hold. We get a cask of Navarrete gemstones. Okay. We need to go to the stairs to the sea. That's not the way, right? Let's send the scout away. Should have been my first order of business, really. It has found something. Hey. Could be it. The displeased. That's a word I've heard before. Below you, a graveyard of abandoned ships. Dark, thirsty waters lap at them. Hey, that's likely the place. Yes, a stair to the sea. A narrow ledge is lodged into the ice here. No shops, just that. A stair thin as a shaft of starlight plunges into the mists below. This is the stairway down to the flotilla, a makeshift raft of broken and abandoned ships, home to these similarly broken and abandoned. All came through the avid horizon but were forbidden, for legal reasons, from entering Albion. The nearby home office keeps them contained here. Left thus to their own devices, they have formed cults. Aboard the flotilla, it's considered polite to bring an offering. Food or fuel is preferable, but anything that can be eaten or burnt for warmth would suffice. The winds rattle the iron railings, as though trying to throw you from the stairs into the churning sea hundreds of feet below. You cleave hard to the block of ice, its chill on your cheek. as you make the slow descent. Your fingers are thoroughly frozen by the time you reach the bottom, and stand on the rusted iron platform that marks the beginning of the flotilla. The sea all around is shrouded in rolling mist. You can make out boats nearby, bobbing forlornly in the freezing water. Some are roped together, others set apart. Lights speckle the water. Cultists still dwell in at least some of the old steamships. This platform is deathly silent, however. No one is here to greet you. Leave an offering, we've been encouraged to do so. Yeah, let's start with that. Sacrifice ours to appease the burrower below. I think we made him angry. 5. You have earned the wrath of the burrower below. Okay, let's leave an offering. The sea is peopled with the forgotten and the abandoned. It is customary to leave an offering at the flotilla for help, for hope, for home. Perhaps someone will come to collect it. At the height of its powers, the Home Office processed tens of thousands of petitioners seeking entry to Albion. Some were rejected or left to seek appeals or help from Albion, caught in limbo between the office and the gate. Here, at the edge of the horizon, in the shadow of the winged statues, detainees leave offerings, prayers and messages to the world left behind. Supplications to the cultists that dwell on the quiet sea. What will you leave behind? Food, fuel, a body. Huh? Gold. Unlocked when you do not have an initiate of these supralapsarians. Ah, I guess it's one of the cults here. The cult of the saints. The displeased. Jesus. I'll just gold. Let's throw food. Your crew do not complain as you order a crate opened and emptied over the side of the flotilla. They stand by your side as cans and flasks splash into the water. You can see the reflected gazes staring to the depths. Begin terror. Okay, well. Sit in contemplation. A voice in the mists. Search for the displeased. Okay, let's listen to the voice. A figure in an antiquated frock coat steps out of the mist. A fine evening to you. We were impressed with your offering. Okay. The man lowers his hood. His features are strident, striking, made all the more so by the lattice of tattoos marking his face like a verdant birthmark. He extends his hands. The word made flesh, and you have fed ours. We would be glad, these supralapsarians and I, to welcome you to our little enclave in the flotilla. He lowers his coat to expose his tattooed collarbone. But first, you must read. Who are these people and what do they want with you? The archivist smiles blissfully. We are those who were left behind, so we have decided that we chose to stay. Okay. We keep with tradition. He waves airily about him. Ours is a remarkably liberating lifestyle. You helped us, however, indirectly with your gift. I'd like to return the favor. How sweet. I don't trust it one bit. Read his flesh. Okay, I don't know who they are, but I'm in for that kind of trouble. The tattoos on his collar are a jumble of words and pictures. You make out a crab and the cave, a candle on the roof. You recite the words you find there. I am home. He embraces you, bony arms wrapped around your frame like stumbling into a coffin. Yes, you are home. Follow me. We roll at the flotilla at the moment. I dislike the arrangement, but there are too few of us to survive alone. If you like, I shall teach you to read. He says read with a weighty, portentous inflection. You have been initiated into the Supralapsarians. Bring 5 sheets of ministry-approved literature to the illuminated archivists. 5 sheets. Well, Stair to the Sea is a different place from the Avid Horizon. Stair to the Sea. So we need 5 literature. Okay. Here, among abandoned boats on the quiet sea, the similarly abandoned and forgotten of Albion. We've read that already. Have we? The Sanctified, the loose collection of souls who follow the jolly anchor rider, communal, fraternal, jovial. The Supralapsarians who follow the illuminating archivists do everything by their book. When they can agree upon the interpretation, the displeased treat distrust as a virtue and betrayal as a sacrament. Shoot, we should have gone with them. Speak to the silent mystic. Where will you lay your head at night? Speak with the illuminated archivists. Sure, let's speak to him. He has built a hideaway inside the cargo hold of a rotting London steamer. The stamp of the Crown and Misery Company gleams in the candlelight, recently polished. Faded paintings of old music hall acts of old music hall acts adorn the walls. Tables cram the hold, littered with hideous and broken ornaments. Shepherdesses, kittens, the tentacled rubbery man of old London, all vie for your eye. Hey, we've seen the rubbery man. We've helped one. Okay, so we need pen. We need literature. Speak to the silent mystic. Her wheel is accessible by a flimsy rope ladder. Rising up through the mists, she's rarely disturbed by the other acolytes, though they watch her intently. The woman lies on the wheel, her eyes on the looming shadows of the gate. She does not bother to look your way as you reach the top of the ladder. Rotting fruits, dried flowers, and tarnished nameplates lie ignored at the edge of the wheel. Ask for a secret. Okay, let's try to speak with her. You are new here. Perhaps she'll find that interesting. She rolls back her head to gaze at you. Her mouth twitches downward. Her hand lolls listlessly in your direction. I do not sense the hunger of the true ascetic in you. Where the name, the knife, where the book? Be gone and waste not my time. Her eyes roll back. Return when you have learned something. If one of the cults claims you as their own full initiate, then I might be interested in speaking to you. Where will you lay your head at night? Every acolyte has a favored spot in the flotilla to take their kip. The politics of one's sleeping arrangements are complicated here. Your choices will affect the dispositions of the cults towards you. Favor with a cult can generate rewards or occasionally open options while pursuing other objectives. Because you were selected by one of the leaders of the mystics to uncover their sacred mysteries, you may sleep where you like. Everyone is eager to see what you choose. There isn't much to do here. A cozy berth near an open hearth, a crow's nest, whatever others are doing. Tradition, that would be the guys we sided with already. Community, that would be lonely. I would expect to be the, what was the name, the guys about deceiving. Let's do that. Perhaps it will allow us to do something with them. After a brief moment of awkwardness, when one of the displeased climbs into the nest, sees you, and then immediately descends into the mists again, you spend a chilly and undisturbed evening alone. You have not actively upset the displeased. I guess that's good. They're indifferent to us. Okay. Sing. On rising there is singing. For some a morning chorus, for others a lament. Lungs swell. of the place you left behind, of loss of life. Let's go with life, perhaps it will please our guys. There is stamping, there is roaring, there is chanting, chests are pounded and throats bellow. You sing of consumption, of having, of being, of sharing and being shared. He was the sanctified actually. You have pleased them. You are invited to join the revelry and take the names of the saints in your mouth like a bit. Give a confession. Huh? Confession of yearning, of despair, of an error of sentiment. Let's go for yearning. The acolyte nods encouragingly. I don't want to read that. It's not significant to me. We have pleased these supralapsarians. Sure, you are not spoken to by these supralapsarians. You have not been introduced. Whatever, let's just leave. I'm getting fed up with that. You leave the flotilla emerging back onto the ice and silence of the quiet sea. A few acolytes watch you leave. Perhaps someone waves, and then the winds drown all sound, and the flotilla is behind you. Perhaps you return. Right, we are back there. Let's search for the displeased. The parson asks you to meet with them to encourage them to join him at Walbury. There's nothing here save for the cold and the teethed wind, tracing fingers down your spine. No one is nearby. If you're going to talk to the displeased, you'll need to go further. You'll need to find the acolytes here and gain their favor before you'll be able to persuade them to travel. If you have not yet encountered the acolytes who reside here, leave an offering to convince them of your piety. You will need to be embraced by the displeased before you can speak of this subject. Okay. Approach the gate. Once thousands spilled through from the world you left behind. Now it is half submerged and there have been no newcomers in more than a year. Your crew plead with you to stay. Okay. The air is still and frigid. A teeth shatter. Ice floes drift by in the mists. The gate is far from the flotilla. Your breath freezes in the air. A little craft loosely moored to the rest appears serviceable. Oars nest in the berth. You cut the rope and jump in, pushing out into the mist. The gate rises like a sepulchre. Its statues, twin-cowled figures, raise their wings in an arch. The gate between the statues is Ghent, the color that remains when all other colors are devoured. It is sealed, sarcophagus tight. When you touch it, it sears your fingers with the bitterest cold. It will not open for you. This is the end of the sky. You can go no further. 15 terror. We could do that again. No thanks. Sit in contemplation. Why are you here, at the edge of the horizon, on an all but empty flotilla? On an all but empty flotilla. Yeah, sequencing in English is sometimes hard to get. Far from the place where you were born, no way back. If you even wanted to return. How many waited for the gate to open? How many came through, unable to go further, unable to return? Where are they now? Are there any still there? You would need to fly to the gate itself to find out. Yeah, except going to the gate doesn't do shit for us. The water burbles. You see your face emerge in the sea below, visible through the mist. Okay. Guess we depart.